Hello and welcome. This is Gist Nigeria coming up on the program. ENDSARS protests. We look at reconciliation and rebuilding efforts in the wake of the violence in Lagos and other parts of Nigeria a year ago. Also, body shaping. Experts advocate holistic lifestyle changes as complaints about ineffective slimming techniques grow online. Plus, driving social change. Private companies in Zambia partner governments to address sanitation problems. And
my name is Fade Ogunro. Check me out.
The tech entrepreneur using a platform to link service providers with customers across Africa. Welcome to Gist Nigeria from the BBC and Channels Television, where we bring you stories making the rounds on social media. I'm Wale Fakile. Let's start with our top story. On the night of October 20th, 2020, echoes of gunshots at Lekki Tollgate in Lagos State quaked the world. Shrill cries of terrified and wounded protesters flooded social media, and the day after, Lagos suffered a big blow. Private and public properties were looted, burned, and some persons were killed, many of them security operatives. As we mark the first anniversary today, Gist Nigeria's Sheifumi Olatide looks at justice for victims and how affected individuals and governments are rebuilding what's left. Viewers' discretion is advised as some of the visuals in the report seem disturbing.
A beehive of activities, quieted by deafening loud sounds. What happened here remains a puzzle investigators are still trying to piece together. But the rage and violence that followed it were clear as day. The troubled night birthed a morning of violence. Affected individuals and families say they remember the Lekki Tollgate with frightening despair. Like the memories of protesters, 1 year after, the tollgate still bears the scars of the outbursts that ensued here. While facility managers are trying to rebuild this infrastructure, protesters say they remember this place as the public square where their demonstrations were terminated. Public infrastructures were destroyed, including Igbosheri High Court, the local government secretariat at Ajeromi Felodun, the BRT terminal at Oyigbo, and BRT buses at different parks were touched. The Lagos Theatre at Oregon is another edifice, which up till now remains a shadow of itself. More than 25 police facilities were affected. Privately owned businesses and facilities were not spared.
It was a very devastating incident. It was a major calamity. It was terrible because it's the kind of thing that Lagos had not seen before. So in my own view, I think it's properly captured if we say that it was the day war came to Lagos. For me, it's a very terrible blow that I feel it will take some time for us to be able to come over.
The Lagos government says rebuilding properties and restoring looted businesses will cost nothing less than ₦1 trillion. The wanton looting of stores in some states was a major scar left behind by the violence. Those in Lagos arguably experienced the worst of it all.
The Circle Mall here at Lekki is one of the facilities allegedly attacked by the hoodlums who hijacked the ENDSARS protest. And a year after the incident, it is yet to open for business.
The Lagos state government claims to have supported businesses affected by almost ₦1 billion. But 1 year after, this trader at Adiniro Ogunsanya shopping mall, who wants to be anonymous, says she is yet to receive any help.
No assistance from government, no assistance from anybody, but government promised us severally. We had so many meetings and meeting up with the I think with the Lagos state government, then they are out of assembly and all. So many, even, what's his name? Desmond Elliott came to the mall, promised us, but never came, promised us, local government chairman came, promised us, but nothing from any of them till now.
Part of the 5-point request by the ENDSARS protesters was the setting up of an investigative panel of inquiry across Nigeria to look into cases of police brutality and compensation for victims. Hannah Olubodi, a 35-year-old hairdresser, was a victim of a stray bullet fired by operatives of the defunct SARS in 2018. The incident left her walking on crutches after spending 6 months at the Lagos State Teaching Hospital, where she received treatment. She petitioned the investigative panel of inquiry in Lagos.
We had come here with the hope that we were going to get something substantial. We asked for a certain figure, we got far lesser than we got, but at least we are in a position to say, well, taking stock of what has happened, we can, thank God and thank the panel for at least giving our case a good consideration.
The Lagos panel has disbursed more than 100 million naira as compensation to over 20 petitioners. The panel also recommended redemption of judgment sum to another 34 police brutality victims, whose cases were filed but were beyond the jurisdiction of the panel because they have been heard by various courts of competent jurisdiction. For the families of police officers who paid the supreme price during the violence, the Lagos state government compensated them with 10 million naira each. Such compensations have been replicated in other parts of Nigeria. With reconciliation and reconstruction taking shape 1 year after, only little has been heard about police officers found culpable of some of the settled cases as the various judicial panel of inquiry across the country. Repeated efforts to get response to this question from the police met a brick wall. However, here is what police spokesperson Frank Mba had to say when asked a similar question earlier this year.
The Nigerian police force has got one of the most robust, most comprehensive, and most enduring internal cleansing mechanism. Punishment could be loss of your salary, deduction from your salary. It could also be punishment, what you can describe as community service in the larger society, where you are given a punishment to clean, for example, this headquarters for the next 1 month or for the next 2 weeks every day. It could also be reduction in rank. It could be a reprimand, which may cause you to miss your promotion or lose your seniority. And then, of course, the ultimate is dismissal.
Funding has been a major challenge of the Nigerian police because in terms of equipment and welfare. But this administration have achieved some miles by enacting or by assenting to the act that gave birth to the police trust fund. The main purpose of the trust fund is to fund the training and retraining, equipment and welfare.
So investigations are still ongoing about the exact details of the controversial Lekki shooting, but the panel has suspended sitting for the moment. Despite the questions begging for answers here, some of what has happened a year after is perhaps a silver lining in the cloud of police-citizens relationship. Sheifumi Olatide, Gist Nigeria.
It's 1 year already and it all still seems like yesterday.